Joe Rogan has apparently dived into the whole US-Canada divide by saying that he's not gonna go to Canada for UFC 315 in Montreal, and he's apparently blaming the trade war for that. Take a look.
Oh, I won't be there. I don't go to Canada anymore. I don't. No, nor should you. No, discipline. Yeah, I'd rather go to Russia. Yeah, fuck yeah. Yeah, hell yeah.
When they become the U.S., you never know.
That's never going to happen. That's so crazy to ask them to be the 51st state. I had a conversation with Trump about it. He goes, I started calling him Governor Trudeau just for fun. And a lot of people were saying it's a good idea. Like, maybe it is a good idea.
I think it's awesome for humanity that he's as influential as he is because, while I may disagree with the end result of what he does, it's clear that he thinks a lot about it. Anyway, what's interesting is that he's like, yeah, isn't it funny? Our longest term ally who's helped us in multiple wars that affected us but not them. They should be the 51st state. He previously hasn't held that position. So he had said at one point, I just want America and Canada to get along. I think it's ridiculous. Don't really think they should be our 51st state there. I said it. We have to become friends with Canada again. This is ridiculous. This is the dumbest effing feud. So did he change his mind? Is it unreasonable to even talk about a mind being changed that maybe can't actually hold a position for more than 5 minutes? Is it a good or a bad thing that Trump is starting a trade war with one of our longest term allies? It's bad one day, it's terrible the other, and then good, and then I'm not going to Canada, and then I'd rather go to Russia. Why he needed to throw that in, I'll never understand. I get that he does a lot of drugs. I do understand that. And they can affect you and the positions that you take. But again, you're talking about kind of important stuff. If you want to just keep it to the UFC, then whatever, just say whatever you want. But you're choosing to repeatedly bring up the trade war, a consequential trade war. Look, some people will be like, you're being too hard on him. Maybe he doesn't really mean either position. He's just joking around. He jokes around, right? He's a comedian, technically. Okay, here's the thing. People's livelihood depends on what happens with this trade war. Lots of people, many of them, by the way, probably don't listen to the Damage Report, but probably do listen to Joe Rogan. Their jobs could very well vanish because of this thing that you joke about being stupid, but then joke is actually a good idea. It's a joke to you. It's not a joke to them. It's their effing life. It's their livelihood. It's whether they have to sell their home. It's whether they have to pack up and move their family. It's whether they get to open their own business. It's as important as it could possibly be. And I know that it's Joe Rogan and it's not supposed to be serious, but we are also being told on a regular basis that no, actually, him and shows like him are the tastemaker of American elections. He is the fulcrum upon which the lever of American politics. So which is it? Which is it? Is it just a fun times, we have a little beer and then we joke about UFC or whatever? Or is it in fact actually the most important place where the most important conversations are taking place? And I ask not because I really care. I don't watch the show. I once tried to watch it briefly when Cenk was on. Cenk was talking to Joe Rogan about politics and I had to turn it off because the stuff Joe Rogan was saying made me so deeply embarrassed that I had to bail. That was years ago, and I'm never gonna listen to it. But for the purpose of the people whose jobs, again, could be lost, maybe figure that out. Maybe figure that out. Again, I know that he's not in a rush. He has hundreds of millions of dollars. It doesn't really matter to him. He's clearly doing well, but other people can't necessarily fall back on their massive fortunes. This is kind of life and death for them.